Welcome, you're watching the Daily V News, and in today's program, the stories that made the headlines are:
President Chung Sang affirms nation's evaluation of Mozambican cooperation. Prime Minister THONG works with war veterans. The Vietnamese and Belgian businesses sign 18 memorandums of understanding.
President Chung Sang on March 13 received Mozambican Ambassador Antonio Inácio Jr., who was ending his working term in Vietnam. The president praised the diplomat's contributions to heightening relations between the two countries in the past years.
President Sang affirmed Vietnam attaches much importance to boosting multifaceted cooperation with Mozambique, a country it considers as an important partner in Africa. He suggested that Mozambique create favorable conditions for Vietnamese enterprises to invest in the fields of telecommunications and agriculture to increase two-way trade turnover to $1 billion. Ambassador Antonio Inácio Jr. informed his host about the progress of projects with Viettel Group and the Vietnam Rubber Group, affirming that Mozambique would always facilitate Vietnamese enterprises. He said the establishment of a Mozambican embassy in Vietnam is an important step in developing bilateral relations and expressed hope that Vietnam would become a bridge to connect Mozambique with the Southeast Asian market.
The Prime Minister on March 13 received a new Indonesian ambassador to Vietnam, Fast. He says both countries should make every effort to raise two-way trade to $10 billion by 2015.
Prime Minister Zum told the new ambassador that Vietnam and Indonesia should take advantage of their potential and advantages to serve cooperation and development. He also proposed both sides enhance cooperation in agriculture, fishing, culture and education. Ambassador Fast pledged to do his best to promote the development of the Indonesia-Vietnam traditional friendly cooperation, with priority given to devising a comprehensive bilateral cooperative program.
The Prime Minister held a working session with the Vietnam War Veterans Association on March 13, during which he urged the association to promote its role in caring for and protecting the interests of its members.
The government chief praised efforts and outcomes of operation by the association and its chapters over past years, attributing these achievements to the country's socio-economic development. Analyzing advantages and challenges for the country in 2012, he asked the association's chapters at all levels to continue upholding the tradition of uncle-horse soldiers and promoting potential, helping successfully fulfill the nation's socio-economic goals. They need to coordinate with authorities at all levels to encourage their members and people to implement the party's resolutions and state policies, the Prime Minister added. The association has nearly 4 million members undertaking a wide range of activities. Its chapters took an active part in building and defending the party, the government and the socialist regime, contributing to maintaining socio-political stability, especially at grassroots level.
The Committee on Drafting Amendments to the 1992 Constitution convened its third session in Hanoi on March 13, under the chair of National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng.
Committee members reviewed the draft report on the 1992 Constitution and suggested alteration to ensure synchronic renewal in both politics and economy in accordance with current development needs. Such efforts will ensure that state power remains in hands of the people during the country's development and affirms the leadership of the party in the protection and respect of human rights. The committee affirmed that amendments will contribute to perfecting the socialist-oriented market economy, developing culture, education, science and technology, ensuring social equality, and institutionalizing policies on national defense and social security, as well as international integration.
Vietnamese and Belgian businesses signed 18 memorandums of understanding in Hanoi on March 13. Most were in the fields of seaports and logistics, water and waste treatment, healthcare, education, and space technologies.
The signing was made on March the 13th during the visit to Vietnam by Belgium's Crown Prince Philip from March 11 to 16. On the day, Crown Prince Philip and his delegation met with Transport Minister Đinh La Thăng, who suggested the Belgian side continue training high-quality human resources for Vietnam's transport sector. He said that Belgian businesses are capable of directly participating in seaport infrastructure development projects in Vietnam, as they boast the strength of a sea-based economy and a favorable position in Europe. Prince Philip said Belgium is a favored gateway for Vietnam to enter Europe. He affirmed that Belgium will have Vietnam develop transport infrastructure, especially the building of express railway routes.
The 11th National Women's Congress successfully wrapped up in Hanoi on March 14th. After 3 days of activity, Nguyễn Thị Thanh Hòa was re-elected as president of the Executive Committee of the Vietnam Women's Union.
The Congress also elected a 22-member presidium of the Executive Committee of the Vietnam Women's Union. Addressing the event, the new president vowed the union will work as a bridge between the party, state and people, and actively take part in the building of the party and the state. The Congress adopted a draft on the Vietnam Women's Union regulations, amendments and supplements, and the Congress resolution. The Congress set 8 basic targets for the next term, with 80% of women to have access to policies, guidelines and laws of the party and the state.
Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc has urged relevant ministries, branches, and localities to carry out synchronized and drastic measures to fight against HIV/AIDS, drugs, and prostitution this year.
Deputy PM Phúc, who is also chairman of the National Committee on AIDS, Drugs and Prostitution Prevention, stressed the requirement of accelerating the spread of information and raising awareness of branches, localities, and the entire population about HIV/AIDS, drugs and prostitution prevention. He highlighted the need to continue expanding the methadone therapy program to detoxify some 80,000 drug addicts by 2015 in 30 cities and provinces. On March 13, a conference reviewing the implementation of the Community Reach Vietnam program took place in Hanoi. The 5-year program was carried out by the Ministry of Labour, War Invalids and Social Affairs, and the International Development Agency of the US. It aims to enhance the scale, quality and effectiveness of the response by social organisations to HIV/AIDS in Vietnam, through supporting comprehensive prevention, care, support and treatment, and creating a supportive social and policy environment. Between 2006 and 2011, 32 social organisations successfully launched 49 projects on HIV/AIDS prevention in Vietnam, providing HIV prevention treatment to around 750,000 people, including drug users, homosexuals and sex workers. Around 62,000 people living with HIV, as well as their family members, have benefited from the program's home-based care, and 12,000 affected orphans have received care and support.
Vietnamese businesses and 37 businesses from Macau of China engaged in an exchange in Ho Chi Minh City on March 13th to seek the possibility of enhancing their linkage.
The event was jointly held by the Department of Trade Promotion's Ho Chi Minh City office, partnered with the Macau Organisation of Trade and Investment Promotion and the Northern Macau Association of Industry and Commerce. Two-way trade between Vietnam and Macau is moderate, reaching only $34 million in 2011. Vietnam mainly exports aquatic products and seafood, coffee, cashew nuts, vegetables and consumer goods to Macau, while importing equipment and plastics from the region. In 2012, Macau plans to invest in various fields in Vietnam, especially real estate and restaurants. Macau will also organise trade promotion programs and fairs to boost cooperation between the two sides.
And we have reached the end of today's program. Thanks for tuning in and see you tomorrow.